Hello everyone, Tony here bringing you a Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile video. First and foremost, I want to say long time no see. I know it's been quite some time since I last uploaded. Honestly speaking, I've just been enjoying playing card games and some real life stuff happened. All good news thankfully, but I've been kind of preoccupied with other things. However, I do plan on uploading videos every now and then. Obviously I'm not going to be like a giant Yu-Gi tuber or nothing like that, or a card game tuber at all. But I do like sharing my ideas with you, and I do like, interacting with you guys, and I've missed you guys for the most part. So we're going to get into the deck profile, and this profile is going to be featured with Voiceless voice. I initially, when this set came out, I wasn't interested in any of the decks. I was playing Labyrinth and what was the other one? Branded Chimera for some time, and for the most part, I was relatively happy with that. I bought a few boxes to support my LGS, and I wound up pulling the entire Ashen deck basically. Tried that out for a little bit, and then one of my friends actually wound up pulling low from the set. So being that we bought a few boxes, we already had majority of the stuff from the set. So I wound up trying this deck out, and I love this deck. This is literally my favorite deck currently. That's not Labyrinth. But yeah, so I decided to play a more pure version of Voiceless Voice. I don't play any Nadir Servants, nor do I play any Branded Fusions. This is strictly the Voiceless stuff and cards that support the theme. So let's get into the deck list. Going into the Voiceless package, obviously you need 3 lows. This card is amazing, one of the best cards I think that they printed for a newer archetype. Being that she just places the card from the deck to the field, you can't ash her, you can't roll her. She gets around a lot of that stuff, and she recurs herself when she's used for a ritual summon, basically, or anytime a ritual monster special summon. So she is so good. Like she's able to pull the best spell card out of the deck for this. She's able to pull an amazing trap card out as well. 3 of, you can't play anything less. Then of course the big boss, 3 Skull Guardians. Initially, and I see a lot of decks play 2, right? I was on that boat as well. However, I maximize this because I'd rather just see the card altogether, right? Like there's so many hand traps out that essentially stop you from searching your deck, and being that this deck does have a lot of search and adding to hand, I wanted to lessen the impact that Droll Unlock Bird would have on me. So being able to just kind of have this card more often than not was a good thing. While loads on the field or in the graveyard, he's an Omni Negate, and he becomes 4100, which is a big body, so a lot of things can't really deal with him. On Ritual Summon, he can search your deck for a Voiceless card, which is great. 3 Saphiras, which is probably the best searcher in the deck. Instead of typical pre-preps, although you can play pre-prep in this deck, she acts as a pre-prep of sorts. She's able to grab any ritual monster that is a light dragon or warrior and add it to your hand. And she helps filter the deck. So you send her to the graveyard, you send the ritual spell for them to the graveyard, and then add a ritual monster that's a light warrior dragon. So it could be Cerebus, it could be Skull Guardian, or anything that fits that. She's really good. And then while she's in the graveyard, you can banish her, and she acts as a ritual spell. So the deck does a lot to mitigate your cost and card necessities, so to speak, to be able to bring these rituals out. 1 copy of Cerebus. You'll probably only ever play 1 copy of this card, because when he activates his effects, a special summon a ritual from the deck, he bounces himself back to your hand. So you'll have him almost all the time. He can special summon himself relatively easy, just shuffling 2 spell cards from your graveyard back into the deck, or you can use the trap card to bring him out and special summon him in that capacity. Just great. Big body, and able to be a constant presence on the field is always a good thing. Closing off the effect monster section of this, 3 Diviners and 1 Trias. These cards are essentially hand and glove fit. You would normal summon Diviner, send Trias to the graveyard. Trias will tribute Diviner off the field, special summon herself, and then you'll pull low out of the deck with this, which is great. I see a lot of people make this mistake. Now, this is going to be kind of counterintuitive to the video, because I'm trying to display the combo with this, but do not impermanence this, do not effect veiler this, don't ash it, because all that does is it allows this deck to climb in the Baron. And if that's the case, you know, now you have different problems, because now you got to deal with a Baron and a Skull Guardian. Rounding out the ritual effect monsters, I play one Cerevis. There's decks that play two. I play one because of the recursion effect that this deck does have with the trap card. And just being able to summon him from virtually anywhere is just an amazing thing. You can play this at 2. I play it at 1, so I can play a copy of Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon. He is a negate 4 spell cards, big body of 2700, so this is just a preference. You could definitely just play the 2 Cerevis, and the deck works really well with just that. But him being a light dragon and also searchable kind of gives you another layer of protection over spells. Now to the hand trap part of the deck, 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 Nibiru, 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Droll and Lockbirds, and then the 3 Impermanents. Now, with the exception of Ash Blossom and Infinite Impermanence, I'm not really a huge fan of playing 3 copies of like particular hand traps, for the simple fact that getting stuck with 2 Nibirus in hand sucks. Getting stuck with 2 Droll and Lockbirds in hand sucks. You know, if I was playing, like, Crossout Designator is really good. I don't play it in this deck, but I just don't like being stuck with double copies of hand traps in my hand, basically. And you know, Ash Blossom has a lot more trigger points than Droll does. Droll only reacts to searches and draws, whereas she searches, like, reacts to anything that comes from the deck with the exception of placing. And then Infinite Impermanence right now is like the best trap card in the game. It's so good, very, very versatile. You know, and being able to like just play it on your turn, like you start your turn off and your opponent has like an Omni Negate. Now you could force the Omni Negate out. It's just really nice. Effect Veiler is really good at covering cards that have multiple trigger points. So you know, if you veil a card like Mirror Sword Knight and then he tributes himself, his effect stays negated. So you don't have to use it essentially on effects that only activate like on the field, like a Stratos or something like that. You can, you know, see a Mirror Sword Knight, effect Veiler, and now you dealt with it. Now the spell lineup, I play 1 Call by the Grave, 2 Prayers of the Voiceless Voice, 2 Triple Tactics Talent. Initially I was playing 2 Thrust, 1 Talent, but Droll and Lockbird is too strong right now, so I'd much rather just have the option of Triple Tactics Talent to just play it. When Droll's popularity dies down, you can actually play 2 Talents and 1 Thrust, or 2 Thrust, 1 Talent, because Cerevis can actually recycle them. So if you want to just play the double Thrust and recycle the Talent, you can. Prayers of the Voiceless Voice is the ritual spell for the deck. You can essentially... I don't think I've used this much. I probably have used this twice for like the card itself. It has a graveyard effect of when your ritual monsters leave, you can special summon a Saphira, a Cerevis, or Skull Guardian, Protector of the Voiceless Voice from your hand or deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. So it's a strong card in the graveyard, and you're probably never really gonna have to use this for the ritual summon itself. 3 pre-preps, because being able to search for a ritual and its spell card is really, really broken. It's a +1 if you get both searches off, and it's a good way to bait out Droll and Lockbird and Ash Blossom. 3 Barriers of the Voiceless Voice. This card initially was played at 2, but like you can't not play this at 3, because being able to search your deck for a voiceless card every turn, having low on the field means that you can't target your opponent's well, your opponent can't target your light monsters with card effects, and then having a ritual monster in the field means they can only attack that. Like, it's just so good. Like, they're forced to fight a 4100 beast stick that they can't target, and every turn you could just add a voiceless card from your deck to your hand. So like 3 up automatically. And then the last trap card I play is Radiance of the Voiceless Voice. I might bump this up to 2, because if I open with this, not being able to climb into Baron when I get interrupted kind of sucks. But it's a great card. You can special summon voiceless monsters from your deck. You're able to destroy multiple cards on the field with this card. Overall, just a really, really strong card. Getting into the extra deck, 1 Elder Entity Antis. She's just the target for Herald, being able to just destroy a card in the field. The Synchros, 1 Herald, 1 Excel Stardust, 1 Baron, and 1 Chaos Angel. This, another Herald target, which will let you search your deck for a ritual spell or monster. If Herald does get interrupted and you have Radiance on the field, through some moves it'd be easier to show you with test hands. You're able to essentially special summon this, bring back Herald, and then special summon this, and now you have Omni Negate on the field, and it'll let you bring out Herald during your next standby phase if you want, and try to redo your combo. And then Chaos Angel's is broken. Big body, you can just basically synchro this with like Low and Trius, or you can use Heralder and dump like Herald of the Arclight and synchro it with Saphira. Like, you have many ways of like going into this deck. One Superstar Slayer Typhon. I'm still not sold on this card. I can see why it's a good card, but there's so many ways of like removing it. It's okay. One Link Rebo, one Relinquish Anima. These, I don't necessarily feel like I need this a lot of the times. I would probably just double the Relinquish Anima. People still to this day don't play their columns correctly, so being able to just take, or if they have a Link monster that points right here, you could just, snatch their monster up and use them for attack power is great. Two Dynamundos. This lets you essentially go into Skull Guardian and Low, because when you tribute him, you can target a ritual monster in the graveyard and special summon it, and whenever a ritual monster is special summoned, Low will bring herself back, so you'll get a placement, and it can reset your Omni Negate as well. This can help you also rebuild your board too, so if you open with like Low Skull Guardian, you just link them off, then your opponent's going to try and get rid of this, and you'll be able to just send this and put the stuff back on the board. One Lin, well, Lena? I don't know how to pronounce that. This will help you link climb into like your bigger links. It's good for the mirror match. One Dark, because everybody's playing darks to some extent, like this card, SP Little Knight. You could probably replace this card with IP Masquerena. Granted, this effect is really, really good. Probably one of the best extra deck monsters in the game right now. And I also play one Nightmare Unicorn, but this card can be replaced with Selene if you're trying to link climb. The last card I play is also Axis Code Talker. Just a big monster. With Selene, you'd be able to guarantee that he has like 5,300 attack points. So the extra deck is probably, like, it's important for this deck, but the main power of the deck comes from the deck itself. Skull Guardian offering the Omni Negate is amazing. Low being able to pull cards out of your deck without being interrupted is awesome. So like the deck is so well structured, I cannot wait for the rest of the support. So I'm going to try to keep this video relatively short. Thank you for watching. If you've gotten this far. If you have any questions, ask them below. If you would like a combo tutorial video, I can either direct you to one, or I can make one myself. I have no problem giving other people credit, because there's definitely people that have been studying this deck way longer than I have. I want to thank you for watching this video. You have a good day.